Australia. Hello.
Hi.
I'm Davey Havoc.
I'm Jade.
We are half of AFI, and we are here on behalf of Destroy All Lines, who've picked out some of your questions for us to answer.
Coming to you live and direct from West Hollywood, California, in the illustrious Zen Room.
Yeah, this is where we wrote Blood Record.
Yeah.
In this room. Except Jade was here and I was over there, and you can't see over there, but it's very similar to over here. There's a window over there.
The famed Zen Room.
Yes. And here we go. Let's start out with a question from Leah Goodwin from Sydney. Wait, this says Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. Are you from all those places? I don't know if that's where you're from or if you're just, naming cities in Australia. All of which we'll be at, as a matter of fact, soon, next month. Davey, I've always understood that you preferred your lyrics to be open to interpretation of the listener rather than telling us what they meant to you to write. Is this still the case? Yes. Or do you think that over the years, the lyrics have evolved to the point where there is less interpretation to the listener and more understanding to be able to feel it in the way you have written? Much love, C. Much love, comma, C. Is that Australian talk?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means. Your name's not C. Maybe we just don't. Anyways.
C is Australian for like loser.
Much love. Cheers, maybe? I'll do. Thank you. Leah, yes. I like to allow my lyrics to be open to interpretation, for I feel that people take what they need from the lyrics, and I like that. I enjoy that. I enjoy for people to be able to take what they need from the song rather than necessarily coloring their interpretation with my intention or intentions. Certainly, depending on the song, there could be multifold intentions, or sometimes a singular intention. As years have gone on, and particularly on certain albums, whether you look at, say, Burials, which is very direct, or some instances on Blood, or even Crash Love, there are more direct lyrics that are less easily opened to interpretation, yet at the same time, even with those, people take what they need from them, and I prefer that. And there you have it.
I'm just going to go ahead and shoot right over to... Should we do this one?
Sure.
Did you not do that one for a reason?
No, I don't know. I just kind of said my name up here, so I just went straight in. Just zoom into myself.
Yeah. Okay. This is from Richard Collis, presumably from Sydney. With 10 full-length albums now and a wide variety of sounds, what is the process like for creating a set list everyone in the band is happy with and that fully represents what AFI is? Well, you know what? It's hard to create a set list that represents what we are because we've been a lot of things. And so, just try to do something that the band has a good time playing and the fans are going to enjoy. And it can be difficult. Sometimes you get out there and you're playing in the middle of your set and you're like, oh man, why did I put this song here? Why is this song next? That's not a good flow. That was a mistake. And so, it's trial and error. But I think we've been doing a good job on this record, and we're going to do much of the same in Australia, I hope.
Yeah, we haven't been to Australia in a couple years.
Yeah, since 2014?
2014, and
was it 3 years ago?
We didn't do
this,
and we haven't done a headlining tour in Australia.
No, since 2006 or 2007?
I don't know. Did we do it? No, we didn't even do it in 2009 or 10, right? So
yeah. It was our last tour in the Summer Underground was the last time that we headlined over there.
So that's fun. We'll have an opportunity to play some, typically when we play festivals, we tend to focus on the singles to appeal to the festival crowd.
We'll play some deep cuts.
Might play some deep cuts.
Way deep.
Very vast ocean, vast sea. Lisa Marie Stoll from Perth says to us, firstly, I would just like to say Soundwave Perth 14 was one of the most amazing memories and experiences of my life. That's wonderful. I hope we were part of that. Being at the front of that stage when Davey walked out into the crowd, being so close and just having a great time singing, hands down, it was amazing. So I guess we were part of that.
You walked in the crowd on Soundwave?
Don't recall. Apparently so.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently so. And Lisa, you ask, what is the best memory that you each have throughout your singing career? Jade, your singing career.
I, believe it or not, have had a singing career, mostly backup singing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, early on when we used to write stuff, I would write myself parts that I would sing, not because I wanted to be a singer or like be out there and get the limelight, just because, you know, we did a lot of trading off, and so just naturally there'd be stuff that I would sing, and then I'd get in the studio and be like, why did I write this part? I hate singing, I don't want to be in here, I don't want to be singing. And then I was stuck singing it live, like, you know, the middle of Silver and Cold, or the end of the interview, or, you know, like parts where it's just me. So I have had a singing career. I prefer to be in the background, way in the background, like barely, you can like barely see me.
And Jade sang backing vocals I'm very proud of before he was in AFI.
Yeah,
and it markedly changed his voice.
Yeah, I was singing backing vocals on the song File 13, and I destroyed my voice like for 2 weeks, and when it came back I had like this, like an octave more range in my voice. So I wouldn't try that, probably not a good idea.
When I destroy my voice, it does the opposite.
Yeah, so, but you know, that was nice. That was probably...
He's a magical man.
That was like the best moment of my singing career, actually, because, you know, it like added this dimension to my voice, which I was able to sing stuff like on Black Sails, where it was like way up here. I could have never sang stuff that high, like backing vocals.
Yeah. Got you prepped.
Yeah, thanks.
Got you prepped.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
So what was your best memory?
It's hard to pick a best vocal memory. I've been singing, you know, for actually even longer than I was in AFI, pretty much my whole life. A recent memory that I really enjoyed was singing atop a boulder in Colorado recently, which took some doing to climb. Boulder, if you will, is the verb for climbing a boulder. And wind was blowing. Audience was singing along. I was playing a song I enjoy. I Hope You Suffer. Still holds true. That was a really very surreal experience, actually, to be standing on a large rock upon a large mountain above a large crowd.
That was pretty magical. You could probably find that on YouTube if you're curious.
You might. So that was one of my favorite moments. And we shall move on.
Okay.
Jade, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Shelby Jansen, also from Perth. I really like Clandestine, especially the Singstar album, and how the speculation, clues, and other little seemingly insignificant details tied in together across multiple songs and albums. Was there ever a sit-down discussion or a lot of planning in the very early stages to actually plot the concept of Clandestine and how your album's songs relate to it in advance, including the recurring themes and numbers, etc.? If so, who was it that had the idea? I remember more of the December Underground stuff than Clandestine, but I mean, we did a film for it, and so we obviously planned that all out.
I mean, we planned the film. As far as like the reoccurring themes go, there tend to be reoccurring themes. I would think there would tend to be reoccurring themes with any singular writer, and so as I've been luckily given the opportunity to express myself freely through this band, you are going to see reoccurring themes. Lyrically speaking, throughout all the records, to an extent, you will see threads that tie in from record to record, especially if those records are in proximity with one another, and thereby when we're creating visuals such as Clandestine, such as the album artwork, such as the videos, you will see a commonality there.
Is there ever a theme that you would never wish to return to?
All of them. Everything I write about, I'd love to never write about any of that again. But
what would be the one theme that you would like to never revisit?
A singular theme that I would like to never revisit. It would be a treat to not touch upon an attraction to destructive behavior or people. That'd be nice.
I thought you were going to go for like something easy, like Serial or like...
Never going to happen. See, it'd be cool if I cared enough to write about Serial again. Oh, the simpler times when you had nothing to write about
if cereal was a big
I mean, that's a really good point. I mean, when we were children, and when AFI was a punk band, not so much pressing upon you.
Yeah, not too many woes.
Not too many woes. You're writing about cereal and skateboarding.
There were a lot of woes.
Wow.
But not too many woes.
Well done.
Okay, let's move on. Oh, your turn.
Oh, my turn.
Did we answer that?
I don't know.
Close
Yeah, we answered that. And Claire Bell from Brisbane asks if you guys
Vegas.
If you guys couldn't be successful musicians anymore, what would you be doing? I'd be in a lot of trouble, Claire.
I mean, if I hadn't got asked to join AFI, I have no idea. Maybe I'd still be a musician, who knows? But, I mean, I do have a degree.
Yeah.
I could be like in academia. Probably. That's what I probably would try to do. I was trying to be a writer. That probably wouldn't have happened, so, yeah.
If I would have had the courage... Excuse me, dying. If I would have had the courage to pursue alone an acting career, I might have done that. I really enjoy acting, but it's far easier to pursue such an unlikely lifestyle as music or acting or any of the arts when it's a group of people like AFI who are committed to throwing everything else away together. There were 4 of us when we decided to give up all else and dedicate ourselves to music. I don't know if I would have been able to do that alone and pursue acting, but that's something that I would have liked to have done as well. I enjoy writing a lot. Again, at this point, though, if it all stopped, I think I'd be in trouble.
Let's be honest. You'd be working at Top Dog. I'd be working at Fat Slice.
Right. Yeah, but I wouldn't.
I'd still be living in the squad.
Neither. I'd have to find some, they'd have to reopen Michael's, the vegan spot, for me to work there. We'd definitely still be living in the squat. Well, I mean, it's shocking that we're not living in the squat. Anyway.
Never too late.
I hope, well, it's gone now, though. We can't live there anymore.
We'll just get a different squad.
Yeah, we'll find a different squad.
From Zen Room to the squat.
Any day now.
The next album.
I'm going to squat in the Zen Room. This is a nice squat. Okay. Jade, you want to read one?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm just going to
just go ahead.
over to...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're getting there.
This is from Jax Albrecht. This is to all, well, all being us two. From my 9-year-old son who is a fan, and I will be flying with him to Adelaide to see the All Ages show. He asks, what is it like being a famous band, and can he join your crew? His name is Bowie, and I would love to surprise him with a response. You could be singer, Dave, you're demoted. You're back to merch.
I enjoy selling t-shirts. It's a passion of mine.
Bowie, you're the singer now. Congratulations.
You're born to it, obviously, with a name like that. Certainly I could not fill those go-go boots.
There's been no famous Dave singers in history.
Yeah.
Certainly no Davies.
Who's ever heard of that? Onward. Let's see. Jared Smith from Perth asks, you guys have been influenced by Bauhaus, Nick Cave, and the Sisters of Mercy. Thank you, Australia, for Nick Cave and the birthday party. Dead Can Dance and NXS.
And AC/DC.
And AC/DC.
Rose Tattoo.
Rose Tattoo, yeah.
Rick Springfield, did you know that?
Oh, yeah! Rick Springfield was the second
Bee Gees.
concert I ever went to. Didn't know
Bee Gees. Natalie Imbruglia. Presets, Cut Copy.
Great.
Silverchair. Frickin'... What else?
Boys Next Door, but I mean,
we
that's
gotta
getting
go
into
leave some
Grinder
stuff
Man
out.
and
Grinder Man.
I mean, it's all. I mean, working in the Nick Cave gamut. Nah, I just got. I mean,
Veronica's.
Hi, Veronica's.
Men at Work.
Wow, and yet
Midnight Oil.
Colin isn't
freaking Crowded House.
Isn't I think in the case of both Dead Can Dance, Australia's, correct me if I'm wrong, Australians, I think Colin and Dead Can Dance are transplants, I think. Definitely Australian credit, but...
Well, like Pendulum, Australians, but they're...
Are they British
transplants?
Oh, really?
No, I think it's the other way around, maybe.
Night
They're
Party?
Australians and transplanted to
To
England.
England?
I think. I could be wrong.
I sure like
A lot of
Night
good stuff,
Party.
though. Considering how big the population of Australia is,
Small.
to how many amazing bands come out
Amazing.
of it. It's like England. It's like, it just makes no sense.
It's wonderful. So we just did that. You didn't ask us to do that. What is the question?
Yeah, where were we at with that?
You've been influenced by Bauhaus, Nick Cave, the Sisters of Mercy. Do you plan to bring a covers album to the table at some point? No. I mean, I don't think we would do a covers album. Usually when bands do cover albums, it's to get out of record label contracts.
It would be fun, though. I would actually really love to do that. It'll never happen.
It would be fun.
But, you know, we've done so many covers. Most of our covers have never been heard by anyone because we do them at soundcheck, and they never really go any farther than that. But we've done a lot of good ones. Probably done them poorly, but a lot of good songs by a lot of good artists.
Yeah, and I mean, we really butchered a Guns N' Roses song that actually was released, which was I didn't do well at that.
Yeah, that wasn't really. I mean, that was such a rush job. Don't judge us by that.
Yeah, sorry, Axel. Anyway,
All right, let me choose one here.
okay. This is boring.
With touring
So how
around
are you
the world,
Okay.
when you do get time taking the sights and sounds of different cities, what has been the best thing you've gone and seen? For example, art, historical monument, museum, or even another band.
Wow.
We have been a lot of places in the world for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And when the first time I went to Japan, I was like, oh my God, I'm in Japan. It's crazy. I went and saw everything. But like by the time you get to the 7th time you've been in Japan, you kind of seen everything. So it's like a different experience. So your experience of these places in the world totally morph and change through time. And the way that what I do in countries now is so different. I mean, Australia's great. It's nice we're going to be there in the spring because last time we were there was the summertime. And people told me like, there's a giant hole in the ozone over Australia. Like, don't go outside or you'll like be sunburned in 30 seconds because I'm very sunburny. So I was so scared of the sun that I was like in like Nosferatu in my room all day and didn't want to leave. So this time hopefully I'll be able to step outside.
I went out in Perth when we were there to meet the Dillinger guys at their hotel to go hang out with Ben, and they had a beautiful hotel and they were hanging out by the pool and the Mastodons were there, and we went and hung out on the beach, and it was serene. It was very nice. I really enjoyed that. That was actually we also rarely get time to do anything in the cities that we're in when we travel the world other than be at the venue, sound check, play, and then drive to the next venue. But at least when we headline in Australia, there's sometimes bits of time that we're allowed to visit the cities, and I really enjoyed seeing the Bats in Sydney. Solidarity, obviously, but they flew over the Opera House, and it was beautiful from the gardens, and
remember you and I on the Black Audio tour, we took a walk in the park together.
In Australia, yes.
Yeah.
It was great. In the
There was
gardens.
There was like emus or something, or ostriches, some type of crazy birds that we don't have here.
Yeah. Kookaburra.
I would like to meet Damo and Darren, if that's possible, when I'm over there. It's kind of a dream of mine, so.
Come on up. Come on by the show.
It's gonna happen there, mate.
Okay. Where are we? Amanda Rogers from Adelaide asked, do you ever revisit any of your previous albums and listen to them in full? And if you do, how does it make you feel? I feel like it would be the same as going through a photo album. It is, really. The best of times and the worst of times. Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate interpretation. The only time I listen to AFI records is actually, it's very rare, and it's been happening to me recently more and more, as we've been playing songs recently that we've either never played before or haven't played in many, many years. So it's forcing me to go back and review them so I know what they are, and it's hard for me. I always hear old stuff, and I'm just like, oh, that's out there. That's wow, I didn't realize. Some of it is not that. It isn't the case, but if you keep within recent years, but going back 10 years or 20 years, I'm inevitably hearing something that I feel I could have done a lot better.
Yeah, when I have my iPod on shuffle, that's the only time I really will come across. I mean, obviously, I got to learn some songs, but it is interesting to hear stuff and be like, "Oh, you let that one go."
Yeah.
What was the QC on this song?
Yeah. I was talking to Jade, where we were listening to some December Underground songs to learn or something, and I stumbled upon others, and I was like, oh man, I can't believe that's in the world. Like, I sang so poorly. Why did we write that too?
There's some parts on our records where I know this one part where it was like way off time, or this pitch thing.
Yeah.
And I know all those spots in all the records.
Yeah, and if you go back before the major label records, where I was singing all of my vocals in the last 2 or 3 days of tracking, where I'd have to sing 10 to 12 to 15 songs in a span of 2 days, my voice would get worse and worse and worse, and my pitch is like under, and anyways. So yeah, photo albums, and we're going to close with one more question.
Make it a good one. Make it the best
question is it going to be? Let's go to the back page, Jade. Let's see what's here.
It's all you, man.
Really?
Choose wisely. We'll have to cancel the tour if you don't choose a good question.
Okay.
We'll show our faces over there.
All right. Angela Allen.
Angela.
Mona. Samantha. Angela Allen from Melbourne. Which song by another artist do you wish you'd written, and why? So many. A couple that spring to mind for me are Everything Counts by Depeche Mode, because there's probably 80 hooks in one song. Monkey by Low, because the melody, the harmony, the structure, and the lyrics are unbeatable. Same goes with Between Bars by Elliott Smith. Sings Corrosion by Sisters of Mercy. What a just lush banger of a dance track that goes on and on. Same with Dominion. 3 Days by Jane's Addiction. An actual epic of a song. Just a...
Ba Wada Ba by Kid Rock.
You know?
Just another lush banger.
Is Ba Wada Ba his lyric? Isn't that a reference to something? Wasn't there like a... Can you make it up?
I don't know.
I mean, if you don't know, I don't know.
I don't know what the ba or the other ba is in that song.
With the ba.
Probably wouldn't want to know.
Yeah, because we're American. But we'll be in Australia soon.
That's the Barry Gibb Talk Show.
Hope you come to see us at the show. Thank you for watching us. We are AFI. Wait, we're getting cued by the lovely Taylor. Thanks everyone for listening and tuning in. Destroy All Lines recently ran a competition to win a meet and greet for submitting questions to this Q&A, and the winner is
Shelby Jansen.
That's right, who is attending
Did we even answer her
Perth.
question?
We did. You picked it. You just naturally, intuitively went to Shelby's because you're like, that is a winner of a question.
That would have been very amateurish if we hadn't even answered her question.
Shelby, we will be meeting you soon. We will be meeting you in Perth. Not on the beach, but in a backstage area of some sort.
We'll be in the park. Come find us.
See you in the park.
We'll be by the Emus. Wait, one more thing. I'd like to mention our actual tour dates. In case for some reason you're watching this, you don't actually know that we're coming over there. September 9th, we're going to be in Sydney at Big Top.
Mm-hmm.
September 10th, that's what they call you, Big Top, because you got, the built up top, small legs. Oh, Big Top over here. September 10th, we'll be in Melbourne at the Forum. That was like a Liverpudlian accent.
It did sound like a Beatle. It did sound like a Beatle.
We're going to be in Melbourne at the Forum Theatre.
September 12th, Adelaide at the Gov.
September 14th in Northbridge, which I think is outside of Perth. That's our Perth show
Okay.
at Metro City.
And then finally, September 16th.
Bris Vegas at Eaton's Hill.
Eaton Rifles. We are the jam. See you in England.